That one freaking sucked. Also, I made another one after that. That one sucked too. So I have to make one where I'm fully perfected this what if. I will perfect it. I will always perfect the... Actually, I need to go on a streak where I don't mess up my videos. So I need to find certain times where, like, anything happens. Like, nothing's happening. So I can just record whenever I want. So, let me start off the what if. Like, this is going to be taking more inspiration from the last one, from the first one. I do have the half the nine. He does have half the 9 tails. And yeah, he gets the yen half. I'm not sure which one's the yin and yang. I don't know what's the difference. I'm pretty sure one's the tame one, the darker brown one, the darker one is the tame one, and the lighter one, and the orange one is the non-tame. So you know what we going with? We going with the tamer half for me, because I don't really, that's gonna ruin Naruto's character development. So basically, the what if starts off, of course, with Naruto getting the 9 tails, and Christian and a kid is just there. He's like 4. He looks like Naruto a little bit, except he has he doesn't have the whiskers yet. He's 4, just wandering around, and they're like, maybe these, and he has Naruto spiky hair, but it's just black hair. It's basically Menmo, but it's not. It's Christian. So they're like, maybe if we see half the 9 tails in him and half the 9 tails in him, Christian is like, why would we ever do that to a random poor innocent kid? He's like, these two, Naruto could actually have a friend. And she's like, okay, you make a good point. So they seal it. They say, hey kid, come here. And he's like, okay, what do you want? And they go. Minato does the hand sign and seals inside of him. He gets the yin half because he doesn't want it. He wants Naruto's friend not to be wild. So of course he gets the yin half, and Naruto gets the yen half, and Minato and Kushina actually don't die. No, I'm kidding, they die. But I'm gonna say one thing: Kushina doesn't die, because I'm pretty sure Minato, she's more sure because Naruto has a friend now, so she'd want to live and see those two grow up and be best friends. So she'd want to see it. So Minato agrees. She's like, okay, if that's what you want, then that's okay. I will die. Lonely and sad. Okay, yeah, I'm joking. Kushina dies too, because that just ruins the plot if Kushina's here. Kind of make this what if pretty basic, pretty normal. Somebody just got an extra character for Team 7. So, he is basically the same age as Naruto, not as old. He's the same age as Naruto. Screw the part where he's 4. And I already said that I wouldn't ruin it, and I've already freaking ruined it. Skip like 2 minutes ahead in this video because I'm about to change it. So how about this? I'm starting a new part. 2 kids are born the same day, but they're not brothers, of course, because that wouldn't make any sense. Minato and Kushina, of course, die. They need another baby because if Minato seals it, it might escape and re-adventure. So that's my plot. I know it doesn't in canon, but I'm just gonna say it does. So then they seal it into a random kid named Christian. He also gets his whiskers. He's got black hair, identical to Naruto's, of course. Blah 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 blah. So the next part of this is going to be the academy. Oh, I forgot to say, Naruto does have the yen half, whatever the evil, more angry one has. So, these two are best friends in the academy. Always being rivals with Sasuke, but this time Naruto is actually mid in the class. Christian's probably smart because, well, he has the Kurama has so much knowledge. He is already friends with Kurama. Kurama is really nice. So Kurama's nice, so he helps him with his test, and he tries to convince Naruto's other half to do it, but it's not working. He convinces him a little bit to lend him chakra sometimes. So now we're just gonna go into that little fight scene where it's Naruto versus Sasuke. So it starts off with the fight, Naruto versus Sasuke. Naruto gets a little bit of 9 Tails chakra to boost his stats, but it isn't enough. So Naruto gets bodied. So the academy is doing a little bit of a basic tournament to see who's the winner. Christian faces a normal, just a student named like John or something, and he gets wrecked. with just a 9-tail punch. Boom! Sends him up, and then catches him and drops him down. He doesn't actually drop, he just grabs him and like politely drops him, knocking him out. So, of course, it's finally Sasuke versus Christian, and it's pretty much an even match, except when Sasuke activates Sharingan, it's a whole different other story. They're fighting, and it's almost done. Sasuke lands one quick punch, but it's caught. It's spun around, and then he gets hit by an intense yellow aura punch. More like an orangey, dark orange. And he's in his controlled 9-tails state. And he's been ready to fight. And then he disappears, punches Sasuke, knees him in the back. Everyone is like, no, he's beating up Sasuke, stop beating up Sasuke. And he actually has a trick for this. Earplugs. He doesn't listen to anyone. He's just beating down Sasuke. And when Sasuke goes for Fireball, it's countered immediately with a Wind Palm. He blasts it forward. And destroys the fire. And then Sasuke's fire comes right back at him. He tries to shoot another fire, but the wind is already right through the fire because it was like a big wind palm, so it's blasted through. Oh yeah, I forgot to say my elements are fire and wind. I'm kidding. I want lightning and wind. Screw fire. So he goes in and he's ready to fight, full on. Sasuke tries to win, but then it's finished off with one last wind gale palm to the stomach, sending Sasuke flying. Everyone is like shocked with their jaw dropped. They're like, what just happened? They're like, no way Sasuke lost. And Sasuke is now really angry, because he's knocked out. Once he wakes up, he's angry. So he's like, oh, are you serious? Are you serious? He's like Vegeta when he's about to destroy the earth. He's like, that's it, you're finished, Kakarot. But it's not actually Dragon Ball. So we start out, go watch my What If Goten Had a Tail. I'm not gonna link it because I don't know how to. Also, this is not a actual video. This is just like a broadcast stream. I don't know why they call it broadcast. I wish it was actually a video so I could edit it. So we have the next part of it. We have the... Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. We have the next part of the What If. Of course, they all come again, and Naruto passes this time, because he's at least a mid-tier student. And I'm gonna change the teams around. It's just gonna be from my first What If, Naruto, Sasuke, and Christian, of course. So, whatever, they meet Kakashi. Naruto says his goal, he wants to be Hokage! And, of course, yeah, whatever. Actually, Naruto wouldn't want to be Hokage in the story. Because he already has a friend, so why would he need to be Hokage? People already respect him enough because they know he's at least somewhat skilled. So Naruto's motive is obviously to be the strongest ninja in the world. And Kakashi's like, whoa, that's a pretty big demand. And he's like, I know, but I want to do it. Believe it. And then Sasuke, of course, rambles on about Itachi, but then he says he wants to defeat a certain someone. After he says he wants to defeat someone, he says he wants to defeat another person. Naruto thinks it's him, but he actually doesn't think that because Naruto got destroyed. And Sasuke and Christian, of course, just says his normal line. I'm kidding, nobody knows the line. He says, I want to be best friends with Kurama. And then they're like, who's Kurama? And he's like, this. And then everyone's transported, not literally, but their minds are transported into Kurama, and he goes, so, and they go, what? They're all like, and then Sasuke's like, that's the damn power boost. So Sasuke tries to fireball it because he's super angry, and that's what made him lose and made a fool. So he goes, ha! So Kurama just goes, Tail Beast Bomb! Boom! And they clash, but of course the Tail Beast Bomb is way stronger, and Kurama's holding back a lot because he doesn't want to kill him. So when he hits him, Sasuke's just knocked out, and Kakashi's like, you killed him, you fox! And then Christian's like, nah, he didn't kill him. He just knocked him out because Sasuke was being a jerk trying to attack someone who beat him. So Kakashi's like, so then they return back to the normal dimension. Bell test happens. It's not relatively normal. So after that, we see the bell test. So after that, we see the bell test happen, and it's basically normal. How it would be. Naruto fights, but he does a little bit better. He does about Sasuke level. Sasuke goes in, he goes down, boom, bam, and then Sasuke does land one solid hit on Kakashi's face, activating the Sharingan, and then a fireball, which hits Kakashi but doesn't do a lot, and then Kakashi counters back with a water dragon, knocking Sasuke out. Naruto comes in with a barrage of attacks, because Naruto doesn't have the Shadow Clone Jutsu in this story because he didn't fail. But Naruto does discover a brand new jutsu. I'm kidding, he learns the Wind Vacuum Wave, not the Pokemon move, the actual jutsu Wind Vacuum Wave. So Naruto uses Vacuum Wave, Wind Vacuum Wave, and Kakashi goes Water Style Water Dragon Jutsu, and it immediately, but one of the bullets hit Kakashi into the arm, disabling his arm, and then right then Naruto runs through the water dragon, cutting through with a kunai, and then dropping the kunai, and then punch to the stomach kick to Kakashi. And then Christian from behind with a nice slam kick down, because Kakashi's off guard. After he got hit by a vacuum bullet, Sasuke comes in with a... Oh yeah, Sasuke's back up. He goes for a Goku knee, Ultra Instinct Goku double knee, to the stomach. He goes, boom. And Kakashi is stunned, and then two of them are about to grab him, but Kakashi spin kicks Christian and Naruto out of the way, and gut punches Sasuke. And he's like, okay, let's get a little more serious. Sasuke goes, no, I will avenge my clan! And then he goes to Tomoe. He goes 1 Tomoe and 2 Tomoe. Naruto goes, not full on KCM chakra mode because that's a little overpowered. But he does learn how to control a little bit of his chakra, which is actually very, very good. So Naruto learns how to wield a little bit of the Nine Tails, so he's ready to fight Kakashi. Sasuke is ready to fight too. Christian goes basic KCM, Kurama Chakra mode, activates the KCM eyes, and they're all ready, and he's like, alright, bring it on. So they all go, and they're barraging Kakashi. So when Kakashi blocks Naruto, and when he tries to punch him, he's caught by Sasuke, and then he's kneed by Christian. So there's really nothing he can do. Then he activates his Sharingan, and then the fight immediately changes. Then Naruto goes QBI, because Kurama's like, you know what, I want you to pass this test. So he goes, Roar! And Naruto goes one-eyed, and Christian goes, well, let's crank it up too! Ah! And then he goes one-tail cloak. Sasuke goes, ah! But Sasuke doesn't really need the boost. Sasuke only needs his 2 Tomoe, so Sasuke's ready. They all ready. So they all go, and one swift punch by Kakashi is caught. And then he's spun around, and then a punch to the gut by Naruto. Sasuke with an axe handle down, Christian with the Goku kick, right to the stomach. And he's like, there's no way. And then Sasuke with the dancing leaf shadow, and Naruto with a double wind gale palm by Christian and Naruto, destroying Kakashi, not literally. Then Sasuke from behind, grabbing one of the bells. Sasuke passes, they all pass, and also Christian grabs the other one, and then he's like, wait a minute. He said we didn't have to have the full bell intact. So he just cuts it in half and says, alright Naruto, we pass. He's like, oh yeah, and then they pass. Of course they pass. Kakashi's like, well, I kinda didn't say that. Kakashi's like, oh crap, I should have said that. And he's like, never mind, you would have passed either way. Because of teamwork. So they're ready to fight, they're ready to go on their next mission, and this little Kage actually recognizes them. And he knows that these three can go on a C rank. So when they go on their C rank mission, it's of course the Land of Waves. So first, he said, Christian promises Naruto, and there's another, if a weak enemy comes, you can take him. So when the Demon Brothers come, Sasuke lion kicks him. I'm just gonna call it lion kick. He puts a little bit of Sharingan into it, and boom! Sends him flying, and then fireballs. Then we see Naruto with a wind gale palm blasting him into a tree. And then and then Christian comes in with Kurama saying, "You better tell us where you are, where you came from, and who hired you." Yeah, that's my Kurama voice, and don't judge it. So then we see the best, my favorite, of course, of the basic Naruto series, the Wind of Waves, the Zabuza fight. I love this fight. This is so cool. So of course, there's a giant blade, and they're like, So they all do a combined wind gale palm, Naruto and Christian, blasting the sword right back at Zabuza. Zabuza kicks it back. Zabuza grabs his sword and slams down on them. Then Sasuke activates Sharingan and dodges his punch, and then a gut punch to the stomach. Wait, hold on a minute. Didn't Zabuza say Haku was stronger than him? And yet Kakashi had 3 Tomoe, yet he could barely defeat Zabuza. But yet Sasuke defeated... What? How does that even make sense? Damn, the Naruto universe is literally crazy. You know what, we're gonna screw it. Next part we see a gut punch by Sasuke, and then 2 wind gale palms blasting up, Kakashi down with a lightning blade through his chest, and Haku's ready to fight, because he's like, "You killed my master, I will kill you." Haku blitzes Kakashi, kneeing him in the stomach, hitting his heart. Kakashi passes out, because there's no way someone could live after hitting their heart straight. Well, he doesn't die, he gets knocked out. And they're like, and they all go, and Naruto and Christian go into a blind rage, because they're like, "Argh!" And they was like, and they were like, because they actually met Kakashi, because Kakashi was like, "You know what, I think these kids should be trained. Shouldn't be hated. Especially Naruto." So we see that the best part of the fight, we see a lightning blade, we see a fireball to Haku. Haku puts up an ice mirror, ice substitution. Of course it dodges. Then he's ready to fight. Then he's hit by one big punch by Naruto, and then a quick knee by him, and then a giant wind gale palm blasts him away. And that's gonna be part 1. That was the end off of Land of Waves. Of course, you export